know, I support these native tribes pulling out of this union, A, because it's not even a union anymore, B, the crimes committed against them. I mean, notice how they're mild. The gentleman we have on is mild in his accusations. It's literally thousands of times worse than even he says from my cursory study of it. And we're going under international control. They're putting in face scanning cameras, biometric control grids. We're going deeper into bondage. We need pockets of liberty. We need rebellion against this. We need people saying, I'm coming out of Babylon. I'm pulling out. I'm not going to be part of this. You know, that's what the settlers did that came here from Europe, and then, of course, they set up their very own tyranny yet again. And there, of course, were tyrannies of the natives against each other. The natives were defeated because they could always be divided against the next group and divide and conquer strategies. And, of course, I know you guys are aware of that. But when I read stuff like the new country would issue its own passports and driver's license, and living there would be tax-free provided residents renounce their U.S. citizenship, Mr. Means said. That'd be great Wild West, I tell you. It's a great country up there, too. The treaty signed by the U.S. were merely worthless words on worthless paper. Absolutely, and we're talking to one of the main organizers and one of the people that went down to renounce the treaties that have never been upheld or were done under duress, by the way, put a gun to their head, and then they take them out for extermination at the reservations. The few that lived, native populations were run down by 98% by 1890. Forced to go to white schools, forced to be brainwashed. Same thing's happening to everybody today, but now it's the globalist system. Leader of the Oglala Lakota Strong Heart Society, the Oglala Lakota Pine Ridge Reservation. He was in the 73 Wounded Knee takeover. I got to get you on for a full hour someday, sir, just to tell the story of what happened at Wounded Knee. But in a nutshell, any other points, any websites you want to give out, how you think this is going to play out, what the time frame here is? Will they send out the FBI to start machine gunning people again, or what's going to happen?
Well, you know, anything's plausible in their eyes. But first of all, I urge other nations, man, to rise up and do the same. It's a protocol that needs to be, you know, accounted for. And so when, you know, even, you know, the Caucasian citizens living in my country, you want to be free, welcome aboard to the Lakota Nation.
Well, that's what it's all about, it's the spirit of liberty and freedom is what we need. We need to recognize, are you aware of the whole global government, New World Order, sir?
Exactly. Oh, exactly. We are well aware of it. That's why we're trying to hang on to what little liberties we have. And so the only way to do that is unilaterally withdraw from the treaties. Then and only then can we preserve our history. Our history is dying in this country.
I know.
And 2/3 of our native populated language is actually extinct, man. It's gone. But we, the Lakota people, if I may say this in concluding, Lakota kilanawana santeo gana kiktapo. Doha wash akila chipi ki chokata ilana wo khele khakika ki iyachu na ikushika. Well,
it's very painful for me to see a culture and cultures exterminated, and there's no doubt that genocide has been performed and executed against the native peoples of North America. The problem is it's going on globally, and now it's the same system, just under new names against everyone. And you know, you say in closing, we've got a few minutes left. What's the process? I mean, what are we going to see unfold here? How do people support this movement for you? I mean, because you have every right, I've read the treaties, to get out of this fraud. Every time you try to get out, they come with violence. They have no right to do that. The Declaration of Independence says that we as U.S. citizens can abolish our deal with the government if it becomes destructive of our liberties. Who could deny it's not destructive of our liberties?
Well, let me say this, man. I have lived in so much denial with this colonial oppressor from day one. But the fact of the matter is we've tried everything in our power to give them the responsibility to act accordingly. Every time we went against them, they constantly lied to my people. Now we're going to take the issue a little further and start living on our truth. The only way this can be ever toppled, everyone in this country and throughout the whole global continent, known as this world, have to start regaining their identity within themselves in order for us to continue to assert our traditional life way.
That's right, because the corporate system... Well, I mean, I agree. The corporate system knows that culture, ancestors is everything, so they come in and replace it with cheeseburgers and garbage, and I'm not knocking it, but NFL,
right.
All this fake stuff to get rid of it, so we don't even know who we are. And once you don't know who you are, they can do anything with you.
Exactly right. Exactly. You know, I've always said this. British policies make the world England. Now, the taxpayers need to understand that. You know, they've got to understand that little concept truthfully, because when your money and your taxpayer, you know, dollars are being spent for the wrong thing, think about what this country constantly does. It kills and attacks nothing but poor people for their lively resources that is bestowed upon them through the Great Mystery teaching. And so, if we don't take a look at this seriously, then you watch, within the next 7 to 13 years, your own children's rights are going to get taken from them. And you take that to the World Bank.
Faster than that. Well, it sounds, sir, we've got to set you up for a full hour. I know you're very busy, to talk about what happened in Washington, to talk about the next step in this. This is absolutely amazing. And frankly, you've been physically attacked before. I think you're right. I think they're going to come after you as this gains steam. But if you have the majority of the people, and now the American people have become informed about what was done to Native Americans, it doesn't look good for the New World Order if you have the will to take action, and you've done that. What is the spirit of the people, the Lakota people, right now?
My people were once living in fear. Well, now this new birthing process that returned is their call of duty to regain their identity and their rightful place upon Mother Earth. This was told to us through our traditional prophecy. And so this is a new beginning of how we're going to continue to work rapidly as an independent nation with people of color. And believe me, sir, I will come back. You give me a call when to come back on the show, I'll be willing to go a whole full hour with you. And I really thank you for giving us this opportunity not to be on your show to launch this truth, because now the red man has the power to get back what is rightfully his, and that's the 5 tri-state areas within the Midwest: Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, South Dakota, and North Dakota.
Absolutely. Now, there's a few websites here I've got in front of me. Which one should we fire out in closing?
Well, you can go to www.lakotafreedom.com, and then you can also go to the Republic Lakota, but you got to understand that one. To me, I wouldn't really want to support that one, because, again, we're putting a European name before something that already had one. And so I choose to go by the first one. And we are going to be coming out with another a web page here in the next week, in a few days, and we'll announce that back out there so more people can get on board and see what's coming about all this. But I want to send my heart out to you for giving us this opportunity to speak on your show, and I'm looking for a better time to talk more on this, and thank you for understanding the true message of freedom.
Oh, I do, and I know the key to the New World Order's operation of dehumanization is to destroy all of our cultures and to watch the Native American culture literally at the brink. It was once a great fire. It's burned down to a tiny little spark, but that spark can rekindle a great fire again, and I think we see that starting now. We must stand against any force that tries to exterminate any population or group. So I salute your work. We'll talk to you very, very soon, sir.
All right. Thank you for having us. You have a great evening.
You bet. Take care. All right, folks. I promise we'll go directly to Mark, Blitzer, Rachel, Michael, Kyle, everybody on the other side. I got a bunch of economic news, really important stuff as well in the next 30 minutes. So be sure and stay with us. I'll also recap some of our top stories after we take those calls. Stay with me.